Alright, welcome to Logistical. I have somehow clicked a bad language option. We're all good here. It's a large transport game that involves transporting cargo to all the towns and businesses. Complete the towns and businesses to complete the game. That should be easy, right? Complete all the towns and businesses to complete the game. We are English. Alright. So we have our first sort of quest. Welcome to Martinique. I'm going to turn that volume down a little bit. It seems a little loud to me. So let me lower that volume a little bit in my head. Logistical is a strategy puzzle transport game. The main goal of Logistical is to complete all the towns and businesses across the earth. There are many puzzles and sub-goals along the way. Beginner's tutorial. Click an icon on the map, blue arrow. So here's this. Click that. Drag clay from the town pop-up onto the map. Drop the clay onto the industry, blue circle. The truck will create a route to deliver clay to the business and complete it. So, yeah, maybe just a tiny bit more. There we go. That seems pretty perfect. Alright, so it says click an icon on the map. So we see that the Slave Savannah, which is, a fantastic place to start. And we drag clay to a location that wants clay. Or a location that has clay. Pretty straightforward. Now the speed of the game seems a little fast from what I'm used to. But we got $200 for completing the Slave Savannah. Right, because the Slave Savannah, this location, wanted this clay. And we could get that by taking it from the clay pit. The clay pit also has its own wants, right? So the clay pit wants fish. We'll talk about how we get things like fish and stuff in a little bit. Let's continue to complete the icons on the map. Click each icon on the map and drag the resource. Hint, do the ones with smaller resource amounts first. Town icons are blue, businesses are white. Towns consume resources as you deliver them, so you may have to deliver more and plan ahead if there is more than one resource to deliver. Okay. So we could switch to doing Empress Josephine. Empress Josephine wants clay. We only get 20 per load here though, so that would take 5 loads. Thankfully the game's quite fast, so that's not a huge amount of bother. But, oh no, that did 79 or something. Sure. Trust me when I say some of this stuff does make sense. Once you've been playing for a little bit. I have not played Logistical in some time, so some of it is going over my head. You can create your own super fast trucks. Every 5th business will reward a truck that completes that business with a 2 times upgrade in traveling speed, starting at the 4th business. Perfect English, I love it. Rewards continue for that truck until its speed reaches the module's maximum speed, so 6 times. Complete 4 businesses. Hint, if the truck is already at maximum, the super boost will carry over to the next vehicle that isn't maxed out yet. Good to know. So we can see our 1-tonner. It showed me a bunch of stats for a second there, and then they've disappeared again. There we go. See the amount of kilometers that it had on it, how many of those kilometers are mine, so I've done 16.7. And what its boost and power boosts are, but basically it's distance traveled. So you can start with yet more clay, pretty straightforward stuff. I thought it only wanted 5.66. Oh right, the other one wanted 1.2, so yes. I wonder why am I seeing this in... I'm seeing the settings just for a second. No. Okay. Well, we got a lot of money for having done that. Continue to complete, yep, that's fine. Completing towns and businesses. So if we go to House of the Cane over here, you can see that they have a bunch of stuff that they can provide. So, but they need fertilizer in order to provide sugarcane, their sugarcane farm, and then provide sugarcane. So they currently have 9.6 sugarcane for output. They have need of fertilizer, at which point they'll be able to produce another lot of 12. So they need 25 fertilizer to produce 12 sugarcane to boost this industry up. So let's click Lamento, and we'll also get that done because that's pretty easy. I don't know what that icon is. I don't know if it's like a tourist spot or something like that, but it is yet another area to be done. There's also ways of building new trucks and stuff like that, but I'm not quite sure how to do that just yet. I'm sure the game will explain it in time. So as we travel down the list, it's still just clay. It's clay all the way down, apparently, in this individual starting area. But this is truly just the starting area. To give you an idea of how big this game is, well, here's what we're up to right now. Well, let's just say it's called Logistical Earth for a reason. Yeah. This is the tutorial island. It's designed to get you moving and understanding the core concepts and principles of the game, nothing more. So, the Ireland of this game, yeah, indeed. So, once again, we're just filling the clay, we're setting it up. I think it's maybe, how did I find it? How did I find the game itself? I think I was really bored, and I was in Steam, and I was looking at logistics games. And Steam, as I'm scrolling through, had this list of games called Logistical. And there was like Logistical USA and Logistical Europe and Logistical blah and blah and blah. And they were on sale. And I was like, oh, how bad could they be? It turns out kind of niche, but not bad. There's a lot of charm here once you start getting into it. It's getting into it that takes the big deal. So let's deliver that. Now, we don't need to be doing these sequentially the way that I'm doing them. It's just the way that is making sense right now because they all want clay and we have clay relatively nearby. But we can see that the clay pit needs fish. And if we were to try and get fish, we can get fish from the Maritime Museum. So let's do that as well. The Marine World Museum. Yep, so it had 7 fish to begin with. So a lot of the puzzles to begin with are quite easy, but then as you get into it, you're having to supply these industries with their inputs in order to get their outputs. And because they start with a limited number of output, you really need to be careful where you spend that limited amount of output. Thankfully, things like the clay pit and stuff are pretty straightforward. So if we have a look, we've got roadworks. And the roadworks just requires 1.5 tons, and the roadworks here requires sand. But the sand has a question mark on it, and that means that we don't know where to get sand from. So we're basically limited to just... Oh, don't know how that opened. We're basically... It wants me to get a truck in New Zealand. What? Okay, we'll think about that in a second. It has this roadworks, which requires clay. So we don't actually have access to this road yet. It needs to be built. And in order to build it, it's asking for clay. Mustn't be a very good road, but that's okay. I'm going to pronounce things terribly, I'm sure. So it wants us to complete St. Lucie and Martinique, and it's talking about fixing roads. Explore more of the map, you'll need to fix some roads and repair the road, which is, of course, what we've been doing. There we go. Just required a second to update. So now that's fixed. So we have access to things like St. Esprit and the Museum of Popular Arts and Traditions. So now you might start seeing some of the more interesting things. We've got this place that we need to deliver a bunch of stuff to. Some worms and oranges and sugarcane and gosh knows what. But we have no idea. Isn't that an island in the Caribbean? Well, is that where it looks like? It certainly does. Certainly does look like an island in the Caribbean. We have Ducos, which provides oranges, so we now have a source of oranges. Once again, we need fertilizer if we want to continue unlocking more oranges. We only have a limited supply. It looks like we also have access to sugarcane. Let's keep on moving the map. Okay, that looks like all we have access to at the moment, which might be why the game is saying hey, let's go to another area of the world and we'll come back to this for now, would be my guess. Eventually you can set up proper routes and stuff like that, but we don't have that as an option just yet. So this is basically just Google Earth, right? Yeah, it's got a Google Earth OpenStreetMap map on it, because of course if they were to use Google Maps they would have to pay an awful lot for it. That's okay. So complete St. Louis. Okay. So we just zoomed all the way over to St. Louis, but we can't do that. We can't complete that yet. We can't do this road work until we have sand, and we don't have sand available to us yet. I don't know if it's wanting me to go to New Zealand at this point, or what? Interesting. Okay, let me have a look through the businesses that I have here. Oh, we have a truck business, of course. So if we wanted to, we can spend to get new trucks, and we could get a used 1-tonner, or we could get a new 1-tonner for different prices. We have 34,000, so a decent amount there. If we had more, we could go from a 1-ton truck to an 8-ton truck, which of course naturally increases our total cargo. But we have limits. We're only limited. We're only allowed to have 15 of these 8 tons currently, and currently is the idea. So we have sugarcane. I'm just double checking everything we've got. Oh, you can see that the clay slowly goes down over time. And if this was a city that required multiple inputs, so it needs to have that city icon, they sort of chew through them over time, and you need to get them all to, I think, 95% or better in order to fully fulfill that town. Now, that doesn't mean that when this goes below 95 that we'll have lost this town completion. Just in order to complete it, we need to get it to 95%. So yeah, we only have fish, clay, sugarcane, and oranges available to us. So I think we might be done for now. We might have to go to New Zealand, and then maybe we have to create some kind of shipping route over to here, would be my guess. So let us go have a look at New Zealand, since that's what the game wants us to do, and we will see. You can see that we do have an arrow on our map trying to take us all the way to New Zealand. Thankfully I know where New Zealand is, so it should be okay. Can't really zoom in much further than that. I am vaguely confused, game. You have given me an arrow here, but nothing to click on. Very confused. Well, this is going to be the best showing of a game that I've done on this channel. No, it won't. It'll be better than the punishment game that we had before. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to know where I live, here I am. This is Adelaide. It's dreary and old, and it's got a grid-like structure with fantastic parklands around it, which I quite love. And it's got a massive sports stadium, which is, I don't know if you're into sports, it's pretty cool. It actually has, the sports stadium has this cool open-ended end one side, so that way while you're traveling down, because it's quite hilly, while you're traveling down here you can sort of see into the sports stadium and see what's on. Yeah, gridding. Good old gridding. Adelaide was always a planned city, so it actually also has, you can sort of see them, these main arterials throughout it that go out in each of the sort of cardinal points. And it makes for a fairly easy driving experience. But yeah, it is quite small though, and I live pretty much here. If you wanted to find me, I think that's my house. There you go. That's something one should never do on stream, but that's fine. The beaches here are wonderful. Yeah, it is small. Let's sort of compare a small. I don't know. It's small for a city. So I mean, if we were to compare the size of this, so like that, this is pretty much the entirety of the urban sprawl of Adelaide in this map. Now, if I don't zoom out, or let's zoom out once, twice, 3 times. Okay, so we've zoomed out 3 times. Now I move over to Sydney, and then I zoom in once, twice, 3 times. Okay, maybe zooming in and out is different, because this is nowhere near as zoomed in as it was. But I know how big Sydney is because I used to live there. The entirety of Adelaide that you saw is probably less than the size of this area. And, well, yeah. So yeah, comparatively, Adelaide is small. I don't know what it'd be like in the size of Stockholm. Oh, I guess we've got a... the cities are fixed. They can't really grow based on my interaction. But really what this is a puzzle game. Like it's not like it's a puzzle game about logistics. It's not really a game that has a huge amount of depth in it in that regard. It would be cool if it did, but it doesn't. And what do you expect for a game that has no music and runs in what effectively is a browser window? Alright, I need to figure this out. I'm kind of confused. And that's okay, the game confused me before as well. Alright, here we go. I just needed to zoom out a little bit. We have some things that can be satisfied. So, we have the Pelagius Cross and the Cassava Factory Ruin. Let's start with the Cassava Factory Ruin. That one's sugarcane. We can use WASD, thankfully. We'll get it to get some sugarcane. Oh, right. I remember what I need to do. I actually need to effectively get the truck to take a route for it to discover locations along it. So by me moving along this location, I've started to discover different areas. I'd forgotten about that aspect of the game. And the game didn't want to tell me about that aspect of the game. So that's fun too. So by having done this, it's like, hey, often your truck is busy, get another truck to help, buy a truck from the depot, which we will definitely do. Let's buy a truck from the depot. We'll get a new 1-tonner. Okay. Done. And we can see that we have some industries have locked inputs. To unlock the input, complete the town. Sometimes you can upgrade the industry to level 3, blah, 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 blah. Stuff that we don't know about, really. What exactly are the fun facts here? I don't know. Shipping to the dock at Martinique is closed. To open the shipping lanes, complete the town, and they will modify the resource requirement to allow shipping. Okay, pretty good. Upgrade industries to allow more input, more output, and faster throughput. Use the industry to gain experience, then deliver the upgrade material to upgrade the thing. So in terms of the clay pit needs dynamite, I think, to upgrade its input, its output. Still, let's have a look, because chances are we've discovered some other things over here. We have coffee, if we need it. And we have sand, which is really good because sand is what we need. There's a bunch of roadworks that need sand, so that's going to be the next thing to do. In fact, let's start with this roadwork here. And let's select you as well. We'll get you unlocked also. So that new truck, you might notice, is moving slower than the other truck. It's because the other truck has been upgraded by having done a bunch of loads already. So the more things you unlock with a truck, it gets kind of like speed upgrades, which is what the game was sort of explaining early on. And it will move faster. I think the game also sort of gave me you can see that it's got like a 2x here. So it has a 2x multiplier. It can go all the way up to 5x. At which point you can see that it's zooming across the map. Now I don't know if that also consists of like ships and stuff like that. I don't know if we get airplanes at some point. It might. Do we grow coffee down under? Do we grow coffee? I don't think we do. I think we basically import pretty much all of our coffee. I definitely don't know of any strictly Australian coffee at all. So I would not do that. So what it wants us to do is it wants us to complete St. Lucia, which is what one of the quests did. I think it was... I forget which one it was, but one of them was like, hey, please focus on trying to complete St. Lucia. Yeah, complete St. Lucia, and this will get us a dump truck in New Zealand. So basically, this is how we're going to discover more regions, is by completing St. Lucia, it'll unlock that area in New Zealand. So consider this our main goal. And our main goal is to provide St. Lucia with something. Fantastic. We have no idea what St. Lucia wants, because we haven't discovered what it is that it wants. But we now have a source of fertilizer, so... I forgot how crazy this game gets already. We have a source of fertilizer and we have a source of sand. We also have a source of worms. Yeah, so we can get both worms and fertilizer. You can see that fertilizer is ticking up slowly over time, which is good. The worm farm is mouse over for upgrade details. Okay, I thought that we needed to provide it something to upgrade it, but that's okay. So we get fertilizer slowly over time. And we need to provide fertilizer in a couple of places. If we want some more sugarcane, we're going to need to provide it there. And if we want some more... there was also another thing that required fertilizer. Here, if we want more oranges, we're going to need that as well. Let's go and deliver some more sand. So that way we can unlock the rest of this island. Today, the industry supports around 50 commercial coffee growers. Most are in southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales, as these subtropical areas support coffee growth. Well, things I didn't know. It doesn't surprise me. I'm not a huge coffee drinker personally, but I have drunk at like fancy coffee places, and usually it's like imported. It's not from interstate. It's from overseas. So, alright, another roadworks is open, so we can start having a look over here. It's got yet another roadworks. This one requires clay. We'll get started on that straight away, because the sooner we finish the roadworks, the sooner we've got everything open to us. Now, the problem with like waiting until you've got everything open to you is that you end up in this situation where there's so much stuff for you to consider that... I thought that was a clay. Oh wait, I'm doing it the wrong way around, aren't I? Yes. I know it's sand. Alright, we'll set you up to do the sand one for now, even though you're slower. And yeah, because you just keep getting options and options and options and new places that unlock and things to do. And as you can start seeing, some of these places, this is the big place, right? So this is the big town, the big end goal of this area. And in order to have completed this area, we will have needed to supply Martinique with ludicrous quantities of a whole bunch of things, most of which we don't even know what is yet. So... But we have unlocked the ability to get concrete, and if we supply concrete with sand and limestone, it will supply us with more concrete, which is good. Okay. So ideally I want to upgrade the speed of this truck, so I'm going to try and focus on finding some areas where this truck can make deliveries and then get faster. I'm also considering buying a 8-ton truck, which will of course make things a little bit more interesting. But we've unlocked most of the land at this point. Okay, we have limestone available to us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deliver limestone. Is that the place that needs it? No. Actually, let's switch you to get some concrete. It's a nice easy trip, and it won't take too long for you to do. While you're doing that, I'm going to get you. We could get you to start doing this. Oh, here we go. It's another easy spot, that clay. Okay, we have a few easy spots to upgrade the this truck at. But what I need to do is I need to figure out what the next step is. I think the next step is going to be finishing this roadworks for one thing, even though I'm going to change which truck is doing it. Alright, so the red truck is now done. Let's get the red truck to do something like this clay, which will at least get its speed upgraded. Once we get 35,000, I will buy an 8-ton truck, which will make a lot of these loads significantly easier because we're going to be doing, 8 times the dropping off power, which is going to be really good. Alright, we have yet another area open. I'm having a quick look for things that it provides. I don't even know what that means, but that's okay. Alright, so far nothing seems to be provided by this area. Sometimes that means that what we need to do is we need to unlock things, and sometimes it just means we need to drive near it. Let's see if we have... We do have a location that provides sugar, but we of course can't provide it with that much sugar. But I'll do one trip, just to see if it's traveling up there, which I think it might be, to unlock more of the map. So we need to complete, much like in most logistic games, we need to complete contracts in order to get money, which is what we're doing. We're just doing it slowly and kind of in a really obscure manner. I actually really like some of the concepts behind this game. I just wish that they were executed better. So as you can see, as we got closer to that, we unlocked some more areas. Now what I don't know is if we can just go to the area. And I don't think we can. Maybe we can. Oh yeah, we need to upgrade roads. I don't think we do for the 8-tonner, but we might. So what do you require? You require 1.2 tons of sand. That's pretty easy. We'll get you to do that after you do this. So it queues stuff up. So it's going to finish delivering that first, and then it should switch to doing the sand directly after it. In theory. It looks like it's still doing... Yeah, okay. I think I need to clear the route. I don't want to empty the load because we haven't found a way of making sugar yet. Alright, we got another couple of grand for having done that. Once you've delivered that, I will stop you. Trying to find the cancel load. Okay, that looks like it's now trying to deliver sand, right? Let's see what it's doing. Now, it's still got this route highlighted. How do I tell it to stop doing that route? There is a way. I just need to find it. Let's move this window down here. Alright, let's just tell it to no. Okay, not what I wanted it to do. Alright, I'm going to have to look into that. I'm not going to look into it on stream. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it continue doing what it's doing now. There is a way to do it. I don't know how to do it off the top of my head right now. And the game is sometimes a little bit obtuse in giving you information. What we are going to do is get a 8-ton truck. Right, so this dump truck is going to do what we need it to do, which is going to come over here and let's grab some sand. Now, if memory serves, there's a problem with 8-ton trucks, is that they are going to take their maximum amount, and then you need to basically provide them with places to give that maximum amount. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've played, but let's have a look at this cargo and see how it goes. So you can see that it's ticking up. It's not instantaneous. They do take time to both grab things and stuff like that. And yeah, you can see that it is filling up far more than we probably need at this point. But if we skip vehicle loading, we stop the current loading and deliver what's already loaded. So if we know that we need, 4 tons to a place, we can let it fill up half and then do it that way. Let's get you to keep on upgrading stuff. Apparently we have a place that provides alcohol. I'm pretty sure there was another couple of easy places. Okay, we've got a... Do we have a place that provides bananas? We do. And naturally, by traveling along this route, it's discovered more industries. So we can start to consider providing to those. So it's going to drop the requirement for 1.2 off there. Okay, but it did... So it gave far more than it needed to there. I don't remember how to micromanage that. But that's okay, that's not what we're here to do. 1,630 fish. That is going to take a long, long time. Alright, but this truck looks like it's done. Let's get you to deliver sugarcane. Alright, the 8-ton truck now needs to start delivering large loads to places that need it, because that's the whole point and purpose of the 8-ton truck. These places need almost 8 tons of stuff, so that's a good place to start. Truck floaties. Your trucks will be able to transport goods along the water without having to wait for the next ship by having floaties installed into it. These can be bought by the truck depot in Auckland. Just drive your truck up to the truck depot, then buy the gizmo. Okay. Well, once we get to that point, you can also upgrade the routes with a road instead. It's going to be very expensive for resources. I think it's for like traveling across like relatively like small things that a ferry would be able to do. So not something like this. Who knows? Look, don't question the weirdness of this game, alright? It is a weird game. Wasn't I sending you off to do this? Oh, I was, and then I got distracted. Go and grab a full load and deliver it there, please. Ah, I selected the wrong thing. Alright, that truck's on its way to do that. Oh, we've upgraded him. He's now a 2x. So this one is now just as fast as the green guy is. So that's going to be useful for us. Let's focus on Simon's house. It just requires 1.9 alcohol. And we do have some alcohol available to us. So let's go and do that. Alright, so this truck should fill up over here. And then we get to keep on going. Unfortunately, there is no speed options in the game, although naturally the game does allow you to upgrade your trucks to the point where they move quite fast. The speed options, I think the game doesn't do it because, like I said, you can level your trucks up quite quickly. I hope that this similar as with the boats. I'm not familiar with boating at all in this game. It wasn't in the previous incarnations that I played. Alright, but we should fill you up. I don't know if that's full. It looks like it's not full, but surely it is full, because it only needs 7 point whatever. Let's get you some bananas. Ah, wrong one again. Alright, we've done another area. Remember that every time we complete an area, we get rewards and payouts. Apparently they're going to erect a statue in our honor. I somehow think that. Ah, or turn repeat off and finish the current load. So that's what I need to do. Either cancel the current load or turn repeat off. I thought I was trying to cancel the current load earlier and it just wasn't working. But maybe I'm wrong. We can pretty easily complete this section as well. It's just going to require a few different loads, but that should be fine now that we have 2 times speed. It shouldn't take too long at all. We also have basically unlocked almost the entire island. Industry is out of stock. Okay, that's fun. Pro tip, that's not fun. So I'll make it skip, so that way it's at least going to load what it needs. 3 clay. We'll get the big truck to do the 3 clay next. Huh, okay, we're out of sugarcane. So that's what the problem is. Oh no, it's Big Follows. Big Follows is getting wily in its old age. Alright. So we'll get each of these to skip. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to provide fertilizer. Thankfully, we have a source of fertilizer. I don't remember where, but that's okay. We can do it this way. We will select the 1 tonner here, and we'll grab fertilizer. Now it says it needs 25. I don't remember whether or not it does actually need 25. If it does, we'll switch to using the 8-ton truck. I just want to see how it works out first. Okay, so that sort of like lowered this. So that's the experience countdown. So when it's counted down, I forget what happens. We'll let it do one more and then I'll see. I think it might double the amount of like input provided. I have, yes, the Big Follows is auto modded. Right, so we've fully done that. So now if we provide this with steel, it will upgrade, and when it's upgraded, the goods will come out far faster. So it'll still use, I think it uses maybe double the amount of fertilizer as well, but the point is that the cancel the load. Why does this not work? Okay, well, with repeat off, it'll just do that and then it'll stop. So that's good. All right. Thanks, Red. Okay, bananas. Bananas also probably need fertilizer. Let's go find our bananas. Okay, that's not our bananas. But that is something requiring sugarcane, so let's go and let it finish that sugarcane requirement. We need bananas. Alright, let's find a place that needs bananas. Where is it getting bananas from? That's what I thought. I thought it was up there. The Banana Museum, which also needs some fertilizer. We're going to give it a little bit of fertilizer. So that way it can continue to provide us with fantastic. Can you name the trucks? That's a good question. No, I don't think so. We can paint vehicles, and we can swap vehicle positions. We can also filter out different types of transportations and stuff. And yeah, we get airports, train stations, and trains and everything like that as well. So, if memory serves, you only see a list of... No, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to get. This might get like really crazy later on. It's something that I'll have to look into. Either way, let's turn the repeat off on that. Still wish that I could cancel it before it loads up, but for some reason it's not working. But I'll have a fiddle with that later on. Okay, you need more banana. You don't need a huge amount of banana, but you do need more banana. So let's get some banana. The money is based on a mixture of population and total good requirement. So, like this place requiring more goods will provide us with more money, if memory serves. It's also because it's a town, it also has a multiplier based on that. So it will provide us with even more money because it's a little bit harder to supply a town. Because as you can see, like this number, this bar has been going down. And you can see that it's no longer green, so it's no longer at the point that it satisfies completion of the town. But that's okay, we'll be fixing that. Let's have a quick look at concrete. Okay, we're going to need to fix concrete too. So let's go have a look at concrete. Concrete is going to require both limestone and sand. That's pretty easy. We'll give it 1 ton of each and see how it goes. So 1 ton of sand and 1 ton of limestone, which is all the way over here. Yeah, you can't throw sand on a jet halfway across the world for massive multipliers. You're correct. And I think the reason why the game starts you with these small areas is to slowly and gradually supply you with the tools to play the game on a larger level. So we're pretty locked to this island to begin with. Naturally, we need to complete Wait, is this all we need to complete? Yes, this is all we need to complete to open up the new region. So, because completing a region is really time-consuming and really, really hectic. So the game will sort of like let you bounce around a little bit to begin with. By providing with the rest of the alcohol, I think it'll allow me to start fiddling over in New Zealand. It also lets you do things like you set up some of these things are ridiculous. Like there was that place that required 1,600 fish or whatever. If you wanted to truly supply that, it's going to take a long period of time. So you might want to switch to another area and play in that area for a little while whilst your routes are doing what they need to do. Let's turn repeat off on these. So that way this is the last time that they have delivered those goods. And let's have a look and see how you're doing. Okay, so you can see that it uses more sand than limestone. So this is where the game gets like its complexity, right? Unfortunately, it's all obtuse. The game doesn't tell you things like this, which is one of its big downfalls. It has a few downfalls, but it also has quite a lot of charm behind it as well. You know, it's not using limestone and sand at a 1-to-1 ratio. It's using sand at a far faster ratio than it's using limestone. So we're running out of sand here. So I could set these two vehicles up to get sand, so that way we can get that finished. But it should be fine. We have more than we currently need. Is there automation yet? In this, not hugely. I don't think that there is automation in the game, as far as I'm aware. Maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've played it. So you can see that we overloaded bananas. So we actually have more than 100% of bananas. We're going to do the same with concrete here. And then what I'll do is I'll finish with sand, which should be pretty easy. Yeah, I think as you increase the levels of a good location, it does massively improve its efficiency and stuff as well. So, of course, things will be really good once the dump truck has gotten up to speed. One of the problems, though, is that, like I said, because this is all super manual and stuff like that, the dump truck, you know, it fills to its full capacity every time. And unless you're really massively micromanaging it, you're not able to get it to like only fill to a certain amount. I'm happy to let these guys continue dealing with sand while I try and just finish Le Martin. Then I'm going to go and try and finish St. Luce. Or St. Luce. Yeah, as you can see, it is costing us money to get the goods, but then we're getting money when we deliver the goods. So let's get sand. We might, if we're lucky, and I think it'll be fine, be able to get the sand before we've gotten everything else. Now there is a button. I think it's maybe that T button. So I wait until it's about half full, and then I just tell it to go on its way. But I can't be precise. I can't tell it like, hey, just fill 4 tons, please, and then go on its way. So we just got 7,000, which is a huge amount, and we've completed this area now. It has a green circle around it. So we know that it's completed, and it's given us the goods. Alright, let us continue on. Let's have a look at St. Luce, St. Luca. And remember that I can zoom quite far out, so I really should be doing this from like here. So this tells me that this area has limited production, and it's only at 4.4. So I need to find out what I need to do in order to improve that production. I'm also going to stop these guys from continuing on providing with sand. Whilst it is probably useful to do so, it's not necessarily required. So we need sugar to make alcohol. Pretty straightforward. If we have a look at sugar, we have a sugar supplier. The sugar supplier is over here at the old mill. Sugar supplier to provide sugar needs sugar cane, but it is a locked input. Ah, right. Yes, so if the town, so old mill requires sugar cane, and so too does the sugar mill. Old mill will not let you start providing its sugar mill with sugar until it has received the sugar cane that it requires itself. Normally it's not tricky, it just can be tricky sometimes. Still, sugarcane is something that we provide a lot of, so it's not going to be a problem. Now towns, so towns don't provide us with stuff, but businesses do. So as long as it's a, I don't know if the tourist spots also do it, but because I really would like to unlock the 2x speed for my dump truck sooner rather than later. All right, so it should be fine now, right? What do we need to finish the town? Ah, we have to complete the town, right. Well, that's going to be easy. Things that I forgot. I'm going to do this... No, I'm not going to do this with the dump truck. I need to set something up for the dump truck, but I'll wait. Let's do the bananas. Let's get you on bananas. Let's get you on fertilizer. That's a nice easy one, but that's okay. You can then do flowers after that, and then we'll have unlocked the next step. I need some businesses for my dump truck, so let's try and find some businesses for my dump truck to fulfill that are actually sort of reasonable to fulfill. This one looks pretty easy. 3.2 clay is very easy. It's not far at all. And 3.2 tons is pretty straightforward. We'll watch it whilst the... actually, we'll switch to the 1-tonner, because the 1-tonner should be about done now. And we'll switch you to flowers, which you get from over here. It's a limited supply once again, but that should be fine. Alright, how are you going, dump truck? You're pretty much full. Let's move you on, because we only need less than 4 tons. Okay, we got another place done, and that unlocked the loader for ourselves, so we now are faster with loading and unloading. Oh, there's also the Cape Islands here, which need flowers. I don't necessarily want to... Okay, we can do it. It's a long way. Old mill should be just about done. Alright, so we only need 2 point something of flowers from this dump truck, so I'm just going to be really careful with it. We're about to unlock our second dump truck, which is good. Okay, yes, so speeding up loader. So we now have a faster loader. Don't know if you noticed, but that went completely quickly. That filled up to 4 tons in no time at all. That could have been disastrous for us because we only have limited, although all it needs is fertilizer. It could have been disastrous if it was something that was a little bit more persnickety.